Welcome back to AFTV. It's the starting 11 show. Arsenal face Newcastle tonight. A chance to both bounce back from the defeat against Porto and make it 6 wins in a row in the Premier League and put pressure on Man City, who are playing Bournemouth right now. They're 1-0 up. We'll obviously be keeping you up to date with what happens there. Liverpool won earlier in the week, so it's a chance to close the gap on the top to 2 points. Massive opportunity for Arsenal. It's Arsenal versus Newcastle. Welcome Lee and Laurie. And we've got Robbie and, of course, Julian. Welcome back, everyone. How are we all feeling? A big smile on Julian's face. Why are you so happy?
Well, I'm watching Arsenal, so I'm excited.
Fair enough.
And I'm happy.
Good for you, Robbie. Happy to be back. Was Portugal good?
Yeah. Portugal was, the trip was good.
Yeah.
The game wasn't very good.
Yeah.
I mean, the game was awful, really. I was thinking about the game today and I was like, never have I seen the game. Probably, actually, Newcastle last year was the last game I saw like that where it was just stop, start, dark hearts all the way through. So, you know, I'm hoping to see a much better performance by Arsenal. But, you know, Porto was a lovely place, but the performance wasn't great by Arsenal.
Fair enough. Laurie, before we go into the starting level we want to see from Arsenal going into tonight's game, any hope for Bournemouth turning this around against City?
Nah.
No? No? Fair enough.
They're going to get smoked. But with regards to Arsenal, I woke up today with a good energy, went to the gym. I'm looking forward to 8 o'clock kickoff. Suits me fine. Looking forward to it. We need to bounce back, and I'm pretty sure we will.
I feel a good energy about this game. I was, you know, actually jogging thanks to my train, but I was jogging to the studio because I was running late. But I was thinking, yeah, Lee and his poor ankle. I know you've injured it, Lee. We'll find out about that in a sec. But I'm energised. I feel normally off the back of a defeat, it's like, Arsenal, what are you going to get from them? But I actually feel really pumped for this. I feel really ready for it. Anyone else echoing that as well on the City?
Yeah, it's interesting. The manager and the captain have come out and said that they want the fans to really give it some today. And I think they will. Yeah,
8 p.m. Saturday is the time to do it. Lee, your ankle, what happened?
Yeah, football injury today, turned my ankle playing football.
No,
I missed my train because I couldn't run for it. Yeah, I'm in a bit of pain, I'm not going to lie, but, you know, the show goes on, as they say. Like,
the show goes on. Feeling energised despite your ankle for the game?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good.
That's what party said, isn't it?
Yeah.
The Lee party.
I'll be interested. I'm really interested, not at the start and actually starting 11 today, to see what's on the bench.
True.
That is the thing for me today. So I'm you know, I will be energised if I see that. Yeah, but it doesn't matter if they don't get on. I just want to see them like that they're available.
Let's before we break down what we want the 11 to be, let's just talk about the opportunity that's in front of Arsenal right now. I know the whole one game at a time. I get it, but we've got Newcastle at home, Sheffield United away, Brentford at home, before Porto home. Those are the 4 games for the international break. So we have, I believe, a realistic opportunity. Not saying it's easy, not saying we'll definitely do it, but it's a realistic opportunity and realistic expectations of making 8 Premier League wins in a row and a quarter-final place in the Champions League going into the international break. That should be driving these players. That is a great opportunity, Robbie.
Oh, of course, you know what I mean? And, you know, you could argue that we've done the hard games and we've done really well in them, you know what I mean? Liverpool were flying, remember, when they came to the Emirates, and we beat them pretty comprehensively. And then, you know, West Ham had done what they'd done to us twice this season, and we went there and beat them 6-0. So the team was flying. I guess the only reason why everyone's got a little bit of a trepidation is because of during the week, you know what I mean? It was kind of a bit of a shock, you know what I mean, to see Arsenal pegged back in that way after they've been so free-flowing. And I think in my head, I'm just remembering the game last year and what Newcastle did. And that's why tonight it's really important that we get off to a really good start, quick start, energetic start, you know what I mean? Because, you know, I think Newcastle's tactics are going to be similar to what we saw. Well, if you've watched how Newcastle played away from home this season, that's what their tactics have been. Even when they played us at home, even when they played us at their place, they were pretty defensive, and, you know, it was like, let us have a lot of the ball and catching us on the counter. So we have to be sharp tonight, you know what I mean? And like what Lee said, made a good point. I'm interested to see what the bench is, because we keep being told about players being near to coming back. Will Partey be on the bench maybe? What, Jesus, you know, Zinchenko, what's happening with I'm not expecting none of them to start, but could they be on the bench? That would be a little boost ahead of the, you know, the break that's coming up. But certainly, those are winnable games. Even Newcastle at home, I mean, you know, apart from the draw last year, we normally beat Newcastle at home. So this is a great opportunity for us.
Yeah, Julian, I want to pick you up on what, you know, Robbie said there about they are probably going to be quite difficult to break down. There are lots of rumours from people in the Newcastle space that they are going to line up with a back five. So they're looking at Trippier and Livramento as the fullbacks, apparently with a back three of Byrne, Botman and Scher. I mean, that tells you that they're here to play a specific game. However, if you just look at some of their recent results, 2-2 Bournemouth, 3-2 Forest, 4-4 Luton, 3-1 Newcastle, 2-0 Fulham, 3-2 City, 3-1 Villa, 2-0 Fulham and 3-2 against City. There have been lots and lots of goals. Even in the 4-2 defeat at Anfield, lots and lots of goals in Newcastle's games. Almost the complete opposite.
You made me breaking news. Yeah. Actually, wait, before we get into that, because I nearly forgot, right? And it's just flashed up on the screen. And this was something that we discussed when we was over in Portugal. Sorry, James, this is of the utmost important. This is so urgent. Now, Julian said that he was going to reveal a picture on the starting 11 of when he had a six-pack. He promised us that he would bring this picture.
Take us out to lunch.
Yeah, if not, he was going to take us all out to lunch. Can we see the picture?
Okay, I do have pictures with me.
Yeah, can we see it?
Okay, they're in my jacket, in my inside pocket.
If someone can get it, if you could go to his...
It's on there.
Yeah.
Now, the actual...
If we can... hold on, you don't need to say nothing. All we need to do is see the picture. So, yeah, if somebody could go and get those through the jacket.
Yeah, it's...
Inside pocket, yeah?
It's inside pocket of my trench coat. Now, just to kind of clarify...
we don't need it's a six-pack.
No, the actual...
What clarification do we need?
The actual picture that I was looking for, I couldn't find. So, I brought 3 other pictures...
Right.
That illustrate that I did have
a six-pack.
Yeah, there's one, but this isn't in HD. These are like 25 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's probably difficult to be able to...
still be able to see he's got a six-pack, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think so. Yeah, it's in the inside pocket of those. There's 3 pictures.
No, I'll just take the photo.
Sorry about that, James.
This is going to be some of the worst quality photos of all time, isn't it? What have we got?
What?
Is it conclusive evidence?
You can see the tone on the one where I'm upside down.
We got Gagan in the chat saying that this video is going to be demonetised.
Well, I can't see no six-pack.
Yeah, you can see it on the one I'm upside down.
You got to see a six-pack?
You can see it.
I can't see a six-pack, but I can see hair. You got hair on there.
You see the one I'm upside down.
Where are you?
What do you mean? I'm there.
No.
Look, so you can see...
So there's no six-pack in this one.
No,
right?
you can't see.
We can see this, right? You can see clearly, this is Julian here. There's no six-pack.
As a toga
There
party.
is no six-pack in that picture, right?
Okay, so that one when I'm doing the marathon.
This one when you're doing the marathon, right? You've got a T-shirt on. So how the hell are we supposed to see? There is no six-pack. We can't even see. You've got a T-shirt
on. That one,
right?
You can see the six-pack.
What six-pack?
You can see the...
Where's the six-pack there?
You can see the definition. Look.
What definition? No, I can't see no definition.
See it.
I can't.
You need to look closer.
Listen,
you can see...
You take your shirt, you can see a six-pack.
You can see it.
What? How are you going to bring a shirt? You just showed a six-pack you bought with your T-shirt on.
I couldn't find that one.
It's funny.
Right, he's taking us all out tonight. Sorry, James, to interrupt you. Sorry.
So what was the question?
Well, Ash has put in the comments 6 pictures all with 1 pack. So people have 6-pack of beer, says Cole King. Look, you're all having your fun. Fair enough. Julian, fair play. You've come to try and fight your case, and good on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but give it large. Give it large, James.
This was back in the day where you didn't have digital cameras, so you didn't have that many pictures.
So back in the day, you didn't have a six-pack. That's the end of it, like.
You're the one who told us, you know.
I did have a picture. I just couldn't find it.
Okay.
It's probably at my parents, and they're away at the moment. So.
Innocent Soul says fair play to you.
Thank you.
No worries. So my question was back to the game.
Back to the game.
Back to the game. What is this show? They will try. Clearly to stifle us, fine. Whatever style of football they play, we expect whoever comes away from us to try and stop the way we're going to play. But they've been involved in games with lots of goals. Like I mentioned, 6 at Anfield, 5 in the game against City, 4 in the win at Villa, an 8-goal thriller against Luton Town at home. So for all this, can a team just flick a switch and go, we're going to park the bus, and suddenly they're going to be able to protect their goal for 90 minutes. They've been involved in games with lots and lots of goals. It could be quite an open affair.
Yeah, there's a difference between trying to play a particular way and being effective in playing that way. Now, I don't think there's any secret in what they're going to try to do. And if you look back at their performances last season, I think that the percentage of time in play for Newcastle games was the lowest of any Premier League team. The other part of how they play is that they take the longest amount of times at goal kicks. Now, something you said on the Invincibles last week, you thought that was smart tactics. For me, that's not part of the game, but I do understand why teams that are basically inferior will come and try and play that way, because that's the only way they can probably get a result at Arsenal. And for me, the most important kind of performance that we've got to look at, apart from Arsenal doing their thing, is Tierney, to make sure that the performance of Tierney today is the referee.
I was going to say,
the referee enforces the rules. Now, the way that the Premier League have brought in all these new rules, but they need to be enforced. And if Tierney enforces those rules today, it will take these, you called it smart, other people have called it dark, the dark arts, will take away that element of the game, which to me isn't right.
You know, that's how I felt about Porto. A lot of people online, and I get it, were having real complaints about Porto. But my thing, I can't hate on Porto for it.
No,
they had to play a particular
referee.
game. Yep. I'm looking at the referee going, are you actually going to blow your whistle every time these guys go down the box? Because I promise you, I didn't see one foul. In all 6 players at each corner that went down, so they probably went down 30 times in the whole game. From corners, I never saw one foul. Maybe one with Havertz at the back post. Like, you're right, that's partly on the ref, but it's also partly on Arsenal to do their job, because we didn't play well enough against Porto, whatever their antics were. So tonight against Newcastle, if they frustrate like Porto did, if they are difficult to break down, we have to keep patient and we have to find other ways. We can't regress to passing patterns, the ball going to Ødegaard wide, then to Saka wide, then back inside. We don't know what to do. We're going to have to throw different things at them, Laurie.
Absolutely, and you know what? I think Arsenal fans need to be less pompous, with respect, about playing styles. You said yourself, you know what they're going to do. Listen, we have to prepare for that.
Absolutely.
We are a very good possession-based team. We're one of the best in the Premier League at it. Probably only City are better at that style of football. So thereby, you know that teams that come into them, especially when they're coming to them, you know what they're going to do. So this thing about relying on refs to, no, we need to take control of the situation. The manager needs to have enough dexterity in his tactics to overcome that. They would have prepared for that in training all week. So I don't want to hear
the Newcastle would have prepared for that all week, or Arsenal.
No, we have to prepare for.
Yeah, but we haven't had all week to prepare.
But what I'm saying is, all of the teams that come to us are mostly going to do that. So
having said that, though, Laurie, as well, right? The fact that we've had to come up against a team like that during the week, and Newcastle may play in that way,
Bournemouth nearly scored.
They should have scored. That should mean that we know what's coming.
Yeah, exactly. So, that's the point I'm making. And the other thing is that when James read out the stats, for me, the most telling of those stats that you read out, of those 5 games, Newcastle are unbeaten their last 5 games. 3 of those were away, and they've actually got 3 away wins against Fulham, Notts Forest and Villa.
Yeah,
so that shows to me that away from home, they're actually a good
very
team.
Impressive.
So I'm more concerned about that rather than their playing style that they adopt. I think it's down to the manager and the players to come up with ways to circle. And we've shown this season that we can do that.
You love a boxing analogy. They do have punching power the other way.
Yeah.
Like for all we think, they might play this way or that way, they have the ability to hurt us as well.
Absolutely. And I'll give you another boxing analogy while we're on boxing. So if you are, and this is just like by way of tactics, if I'm fighting Julian, and I know that Julian's got a big right hand, do you know what I do in boxing? I move to my right, because that will potentially nullify your right hand, your best weapon. So similarly, Arsenal will have to figure out, these guys are going to come low block, 2 blocks of 4, wherever it is. You play your football accordingly. You know what they're going to do. It's no secret. Deal with it.
Yep.
So I don't want to hear no excuses. We're going to win today, that's it.
That Bournemouth chance, man, that was big. But listen, it's still 1-0. Who knows? There is a chance, but I'm with you, Laura.
There's something else about their punching power that's in our favour, is that they've been decimated with injuries, especially up front at the moment.
Yeah, I've got players coming back though, like Isak could be back tonight. I think he will be back.
I think he'll be on the bench from what I've read. But also he hasn't played.
But he's quality.
Yeah, he is quality.
Well, not saving graces, but which is to our advantage. I know it's the advantage. We haven't got the advantage because we've not had enough time to prepare. Newcastle playing Tuesday night in the FA Cup.
Yeah, and that's a bigger game
It's a
for
bigger
them.
game for them.
Yeah,
than
but
this
I feel that is it? You know what I mean?
Yes.
I
So
feel-
I
It is.
think
They've won
they may risk
55
players a little
years.
bit more.
Yeah, but I still think this game's huge for them because at the end of the day,
Yeah, but they risk
they're
those
trying to-
players a little more in that
you
cup
know,
game
you
than they
always
will
talk
here.
about the money and all stuff like that, right? And they're trying to get back into Europe. You know, what I mean, they've had owners that have taken over the club and they want them in Europe. So
I think the
I
best.
think both games are big.
I
Both
think the best
you-
they can hope for is Conference League.
Put it this way, they're not going to be resting players. For
No, I'm not
Tuesday.
saying they're resting players.
Yeah,
What
I
I'm
mean,
saying is
so-
those players coming back, I think that he might save them for
Okay,
Tuesday.
Fair enough.
I think for Newcastle fans, that they would take an FA Cup win over a Champions League spot because they've not won anything in so many.
Yeah,
I mean, there's hardly any
They're not
Newcastle
gonna get
fans
Champions
that have
League
ever
this year.
seen them win
Yeah,
a
because
trophy.
the fans don't pick the team. The manager does.
They're not going to
and-
get Champions League this
They're
year.
not going to get Champions League. I know. They're
So-
probably not even going to. They're competing for the not even Europa League. The
But it's not
Conference
about
League.
them today. It's about us. We need the points.
Yeah, we need the points. It, don't,
So it's
it
not
doesn't really
about-
matter. Yeah, Laurie's right. It
No,
doesn't matter
it's-
about nothing about
It's
them.
about three things. It's about us, it's about them, and it's about the referee. Because those are the people that are
No,
on
I
the
think you should take
as
your
far
focus
as we're
off the
concerned,
ref.
it's about us.
Take your
If we
focus
go
and
out
go
there, if we go out there, we put a performance in, right? Like what we did against Liverpool, like what we've been doing basically
Yeah.
since we came back from Dubai. Apart from the other night, we'll win the game. You know.
Can I just say one thing about the ref? Let's stop talking about that ref of the other night. 'cause
Yeah,
as
exactly.
James said,
I don't see
was it
what
the
it-
referee's fault that we didn't have a shot on target? We need to,
no, you're right.
I admit that the ref wasn't good.
It was a terrible Arsenal
He was,
performance.
but he wasn't the
Terrible.
reason why we lost to
It was
Porto.
one of the contributing factors.
Yeah, but he wasn't the main reason.
No, it was
Listen,
one of the
there's lots of-
contributing
there's
factors.
lots of factors on
But
that
the,
night.
But the big factor, as you said, and I agree, is that Arsenal were useless.
I don't think the refs any like at all the reason why we lost. I all I'm saying, where I do agree with Julian slightly, is when you've got the dark arts in football, we appreciate teams are going to try and get an edge, but I expect, you know, the Ivan Toney thing when he moved the spray
Yeah.
and he moved the ball. A lot of people were saying it's plain cheating from Toney. I just think the referee should
down to
know
the
where
referee.
he's, like, you know,
Dark
the referee
arts guys have been
kind of
shit.
know what he's.
Yeah.
In all,
like, I don't
in
know.
all professional sport, I don't care what sport it is, you will get, especially when you go up the levels, players will try and manipulate
Of course they
the
were,
rules.
absolutely.
And
Been there
that's what Porto did. They were very
I don't
clever.
blame Porto for that.
No, but we need to stop going on
Oh,
about
they could've scored
referees.
again.
Another
mate.
chance for Bournemouth.
Bournemouth
Go
should
on,
just-
get off Taverner, will you? And
Bournemouth should just have scored
join
again.
your brother in Rangers.
What
Solanke's
Porto
probably
did,
watching
right?
and think, look at Diaz getting done by
The
Solanke there.
end of the day, there's a dark arts. Is it dark arts or
Oh,
not? They're playing to their
oh,
advantage. They're playing to their advantage of what they do. It's like I've been told that today, funny enough, that they watered their pitch a lot more than what they normally did on
part of the game,
Wednesday.
isn't it?
Part of the
Yeah,
game.
part of the
Of course, they're going to do it like, you know what I mean? It obviously slows the ball down and things like that. You know what I mean? They've done lots of little
Many
things
ways
and
in
all
a
that.
football
Like.
game, and they found
Yeah.
one.
I've got no problem with that, like, you know.
Right.
I've got a comment here. I've got to address it because it's utterly unacceptable. And I'm sorry to read it out, but he puts from Hannibal, the Bald brothers. James joining soon, judging by that hairline.
That's harsh. That is very harsh.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, we.
Anyway, listen. By the time you get there, if you get there, you got the advantages of modern technology.
Yeah.
You can go and
We
get
never
your
had
transfer.
that. Listen, if I was your age, I'll be off to Turkey.
Really?
He's not there yet.
I'm going to grow a beard and go
Rob
Walter
Aldier.
White on it. But
I
anyway,
don't think it makes you
Rob
look,
Aldiers got it.
what's name? But yeah, you got the choice. We didn't have the choice back in our day.
you're all laughing too much in the comment section.
used to like, you
as
know-
well. I can see it.
You've got some of this gel in your hair and you just lasers and things that never work.
Anyway, 19 minutes into this, we haven't even talked about the starting 11 we want to see. But I think it's clear there's one position in particular that there is a genuine conversation around. It's the return of Jorginho. Last time we played at the Emirates, he was honestly masterful in midfield against Liverpool. It's one of the best Emirates midfield performances I've seen. He was genuinely so good against, you know, such high stakes, against title rivals, and in the midfield a lot of people thought he might get overrunning because Klopp's and Liverpool midfields are all about energy. They're all about just having more legs than you, and Jorginho for me was the standout on that pitch that day. Now Newcastle will have a kind of similar profile in midfield, not same quality, but they'll have legs, they'll have energy. Do we go for Jorginho again to bring us a calm? Because I think we missed it against Porto. Who would go for Jorginho? State your case.
I would have gone for Jorginho on Wednesday, not today.
yeah.
Not tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not tonight.
Oh, interesting.
I'm with Lee. I thought Wednesday we should have played him and brought a bit more control to the midfield. But I think today, if they are going to be quite defensive, I'd like another attacker. in that midfield. You know, because I just think, you know, if it's a tight game and chances are few and far between, you know, I want as many goal scorers on that pitch as possible. So, you know, Trossard, or, you know, I'd like to, because I guess if Jorginho comes in, it'd probably be Trossard who'd drop out.
Well, that's the rumour apparently. The comments keep saying that basically it's going to be, yeah. So Team News and Ticks is very on it with this stuff. Says Jorginho for Leandro Trossard is the rumour. So Havertz would move up top, and it will be.
I mean, I'd have
Havertz and
Jorginho.
Odegaard.
Which I'd rather Trossard be playing. Because
I'd rather Trossard be playing.
I know he had a poor game the other night, but he's been scoring. You know what I mean? And we want as many goal scorers on the pitch as possible. That's just how I look at it.
How unsurprising it is that Havertz will keep his place. A number of players that didn't perform that well. And if that's what we're led to be.
Yeah, it's a bit harsh on Trossard. He's had one poor game and he's left out.
Yeah.
I think sometimes, is it me, but I just get the impression that the manager seems so keen to want to stick with Havertz that it skews the rest of his opinion sometimes.
But it wouldn't surprise in this game, with, you know, Newcastle being quite a big side, you know, from set pieces and stuff like that. Having Havertz in there, he does do very well in those situations.
How did he do in the reverse fixture? You were there.
He played very well.
Played all right.
He should have got sent off, I remember that.
Oh yeah,
One of the better players.
They wanted him sent off in there. I don't think he should.
I don't think he should. It was an orange.
He's a bit harsh.
It's going to be a physical game. That's why I think.
Well, Trossard puts himself about.
But he's not physically imposing.
Yeah, but
I think they should be pure heights on set pieces.
Listen, Saka was poor. We know that. Martinelli was poor. Trossard was poor. All three of them were poor. Who's the one that comes off?
Yeah,
Trossard.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Who's the one left out?
But you can always
Trossard.
take Martinelli out and keep Trossard in, and Martinelli's the perfect sub to come on with half an hour to go.
Well,
to belabour a point that Robbie said, which I do agree, by the way. You say you want your better attacking players on. I think it's fair to say that Trossard, he's after Saka, he's our top scorer in the Premier League this season.
With Martinelli also, as good as I love Martinelli, don't I think he should play. Like, you know,
I would never have guessed that.
Today, if they're dropping behind and not giving a lot of space behind, I don't think that's his best. One of his best assets is stretching teams and things like that. Like, you know, he hasn't been able to take players on and all of that. Like, listen, I'm not going to argue with it. You know what I mean? I think that whatever happens, I think Havertz will play but the last time we had this conversation, was it against Liverpool? We left him out, didn't it?
Well, he went for Havertz and Odegaard up top, and we battered Liverpool. So
I think Jorginho's a bit unfortunate because if you remember, he had an outstanding game, as he said, James, and then the next game, I think he picked up a knock, didn't he?
Yeah.
So he got left out, and then
he couldn't play against West Ham.
But then the other aspect I think Arteta will consider is the fact this is our third game in a week, so he needs to freshen it up. That's what we got.
Just one player?
No,
just Trossard.
Well, you can have two players.
But the rumours are saying it's just Trossard.
He's got a point there.
So I'd bring in Smith Rowe.
Freshening it up, is it? If he's only
I'd bring in Smith Rowe for this game.
For
I'd play him on the left. So I'd have Jorginho in. I'd take Trossard out, and I'd have I'd have Smith Rowe.
We've got some great comments coming in, which we're going to get in now before the 11 is confirmed. Turkish is in the chat saying, Havertz starting with a fire emoji. We are going to create so much space tonight. Did you guys see him lose his head on for Arsenal?
Well, he's anti-Havertz, isn't he? Like, you know what I mean?
It was brilliant. The Joneses says, make sure you read this, James. Arsenal 4, Newcastle United 0. Come on, you Gunners. I've also predicted a 3-0 win. I think Arsenal might...
You're listening, have you?
No. I said
we had Turkish on here the other day.
I said it'd be tight against
Porto.
I said it'd be tight against Porto, but I did predict a win, and I said 3-1 Liverpool. I got that right. But yeah, I mean, I've probably gone too far with this one. But I fancy us to respond. I hope we do.
But if we get that early goal, then we probably will go on to win 3-4-5-0.
If
3-4-5,
yeah.
wow.
So if we get that early goal,
Newcastle will be tough. But I just think
5-0.
Arsenal will be really up for it.
Yeah, but if we can pull Newcastle out away from this game plan, and they have to.
That's if that is their game plan. We don't even know.
Come on.
I had certain Manchester United supporters today on Twitter saying, 3-4-0, the form we're in, we'll smoke Fulham.
And I said United will win 3-0 as well, so there you go.
Yeah.
Premier League, baby.
People are, I imagine it's a name based off the fantastic podcast you all have, but they're calling you the Invincibles. Have you heard this before?
No, go on.
Okay. Invincible.
Over into balls.
It's quite clever.
That is
Very
quite
clever, yeah.
That's very clever, that.
Yeah.
Ramadan says
Clever old git.
he's telling me I should grow my eyebrows out long and comb them over. Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. Paul says Arsenal the only side that can have 0 shots on target and claim they lost in a smash and grab.
No, you said it.
It was a smash and grab. Come on.
Listen,
I didn't think Porto were anything special.
They did nothing really.
But they executed their
No,
game.
no. I'm going to go against her a little bit. Listen, Porto weren't great, but let's be honest.
No,
the manager got his tactics
Yeah,
right.
I agree with that.
Arteta did.
Oh,
Come on again, slap it!
Oh,
Oh my
good
God.
save. He's a good goalkeeper, isn't he?
What's going on?
They've had good
They've had a couple of
chances.
chances, haven't they?
yeah.
Three since we've been live.
so
Here's
they've not
another
got-
one.
So they've not got no chance, Laurie. There's a chance. It's 1-0.
The thing is with
one thing you
this
said was that they had no chance.
Who, me?
Yeah, you said that.
Oh, right,
You
yeah.
said
I
there's
was
no
a bit
chance.
beat your tongue in cheek.
Yeah,
I was a bit
okay.
tough.
The thing is
It's
with this
1-0.
no goal, no shots on target. We wasn't out there to win that game.
Yeah.
Why not?
That was the tactics that he chose to go with. It was to get a 0-0 draw. That was the tactics.
Really?
he
You
went
think
with.
he said-
Yeah,
No,
you know, if anything had
that's
come of it,
wrong.
they never really went for it.
No, because
Surely not.
And that was the reason why we conceded that goal, because they were going for it, because the ball that Martinelli
Yeah,
attempted was a forward ball to
Right at the
attack.
end when they,
So they went
there
for
were
it,
times-
and that's why
there
they
were
ended up
times-
losing
I'm
it.
kind of with Lee. I
There were times-
don't say we went there for a 0-0, but what I do think is that we didn't know what to do. We didn't have to
Yeah,
stick
it
or
was-
twist. Right, we didn't go for it like how. I mean, you
Yeah,
could
but that's
see
different.
You could see that there was a lot of caution in Arsenal's play.
Yeah,
because
that's the word. There was a lot of caution.
They knew that if
They
you
didn't
said
want to leave
about
the back door
nil-
open.
nil-
With respect, for you to suggest that we went out there.
No, what I'm saying is, I honestly, and I do believe this, that if they'd have gone for it and got caught at the back and lost 2-0, people were going, they're out of it, like, you know what I mean? There was always that thing of like, well, we don't want to risk too much because, you know, a 0-0 is as good, you know.
That being said, it's funny because James will tell you this. When we was doing the watch along, right, with about a couple of minutes to go, especially after we hit 90, I was actually screaming, "Let's take the draw!"
Yeah, you were,
and some
you
of
were.
these guys were like, "What?" And I was saying, "Listen, man, we're playing so badly.
right at the end.
We're playing so badly that I would have taken the draw at that point." So you know what?
Teams will be out soon.
We
then.
said
The
that.
team's going to be out any second, so we should get through these final comments because some of these are gold. We've got Marco asking Julian if Newcastle are better than Burnley. Yeah, which is fair enough.
The answer is slightly.
We've got Turkish saying tonight's match sponsored by NASA, most space invading since Buzz Aldrin.
I just hope that Avert scores actually,
Yeah.
and he'd be moaning Turkish saying he should have got 4.
Yeah.
Are innocent picking up on my slight Freudian slip as I shouted slap it when it came to the Bournemouth player on the edge of the box. I just wanted to hit it. 94 points to win the league for us this year, says the greatest of
They're
all
on top,
time.
Bournemouth.
What do we think the points tally would be to win it?
I think 85 I worked out after the
Yeah, you
Villa
worked
game.
out. I
Yeah.
think 89. Anyone else?
I'd say about 86, 87.
90.
It's not going to be that
All
high.
I know is it's going to be very tight. It could even come down to the last day. I actually do believe that. I mean, look at this game here. I mean, like City, you would never believe it.
It's too many top teams dropping.
They're fighting a real rearguard action at the moment. I could see Bournemouth getting an equaliser if it carries on.
They're having a good go, Bournemouth.
No
Lee,
chance, Robbie.
Yeah.
Lee Burnell says, big up Don Robbie and the Mandem, come on you Gunners. And I've got all the rest in there as well. So the 11 will be out very, very soon. We're going to keep refreshing our phones. In 1 minute we're going to find out. But no one else would make any other change, would they? I'm bringing in Jorginho, and it looks like we're going to have it that way.
I've got no problem with Jorginho playing, if I'll be honest. But
It's also going to be interesting.
What about having Smith Rowe?
There's rumours that
brought into the
Jesus might
team?
be back, by the way.
no,
Apparently
never,
we're
I
spotted
don't
with the
think he's
squad
fit
today.
enough.
If I'm going to
played
say
against
this, right,
Forest.
if Jesus is
Kovacic,
fit,
don't you dare.
Good.
if Jesus is fit, I wouldn't mind seeing him start. If he's fit enough to start, then I'd like to see him in.
I think if you look at Arteta's comments, then he's a little bit away.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
I wouldn't believe anything that Mikel says, like, really, like, on that sort of thing.
Well, he was basically saying Partey's pretty much there. Then Jesus is a bit further behind. Zinchenko is a little bit further behind him. And
What's it, bus queue?
yeah,
Right,
and the most alarming was the Tomiyasu one
Well,
because he's
I'll tell you what, if he goes to the on international duty in a couple of weeks' time, we'll be fuming.
yeah. And all they said was it was a knock for Tomiyasu.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Sorry. And they did that with another player recently. I think it was Jesus earlier in the season. Rumours that Isak starts, by the way. The frustration to see players who can't get on the pitch for us go off for international duty.
He wasn't even fit when he went.
One thing I would say, right, and I know this might irk Robbie a little bit. Me and him was going back and forth on it when we did the preview show the other day, is that regardless of who starts, because I actually do think whoever starts today, we've got enough in the team to beat Newcastle.
Well, sorry a second before you do that, right? Because I got the Newcastle team.
Go for it.
So it's Karius in goal.
Yeah.
Loris Karius in goal for them. Trippier, Shaw, Botman, Livramento, Bruno, Guimaraes, Longstaff, Miley, Almiron, Gordon, and Isak does start, Julian.
So no back five, they're going for it.
And on the bench, Gillespie, Lascelles, Ritchie, Barnes, Kraft, Hall, Murphy, Willock's back as well, and Dan Burns actually on the bench.
And I've got the Arsenal 11 for you here if you want it.
Yep.
Raya in goal, White, Saliba, Gabriel, Kivior is an unchanged back four. Jorginho does come in with Rice and Erdegaard in midfield. Saka, Martinelli and Havertz leads the line. Jesus is on the bench with Ramsdale, Cedric, El Neni, Vieira, Nelson, Smith Rowe, Trossard, Nketiah and Jesus. So a little bit of quality on the bench for the first time in a while, just in terms of depth there as well.
No Partey on the bench.
So he has lied, you're right.
No Partey on the bench. No Tomiyasu on the bench either, as you see. You know, I mean, that's
That is great that Jesus is on the bench.
And no Zinchenko on the bench.
Right, so as we were saying, that team there, you know, Jorginho's coming. I've got no problem with that. He definitely won't let the team down. Well, at least I don't think so. But that team should be good enough to get the result. The point I was going to make before Robbie was mention the Newcastle team is that for me, I know that situations dictate, but I would like to see the manager rotate the team in terms of the guys on the bench. I need to see them get some minutes. And when I'm saying minutes, you know, I'm not talking about bringing on someone with 5 minutes to go, 2 minutes to go, because I personally have an issue with the team rotation.
Depends on the circumstances, right? It depends on if we're winning, you know, 3-0, you can do that. If it's, you know, we need someone to change the game, you're gonna have, it might be just Jesus.
So if it's 0-0 and there's 15 minutes to go, you don't want to see no changes.
No, I just said if it's 0-0, of course you've got Jesus on the bench now. We've got Trossard on the bench. Of course, I'll be looking to see changes. Because, you know what I mean, it depends what's on the bench and what the circumstance is.
You've seen what the bench.
The other night when people were having, some people were having a go at him for not bringing no one on. It's the 94th minute we conceded that goal in. If you get a 0-0 away from home, if you go and check the stats, literally 90% of the times when you get them back home, you win the game. Right, so it would have been a great,
great tackle. Has he done enough? No.
So,
but Bournemouth defend it well.
But yeah, I'm happy with that team.
But that Newcastle
and I'm happy with the fact that Jesus. But the Newcastle team's stronger than they've had out in the last few weeks, and the fact that Isak is back. I saw a game that they played the other day when they were getting battered. Was that Liverpool? Was it Liverpool they was playing? Or? But Isak, it was Liverpool.
Maybe.
But Isak, every time he got a chance, he buried it. He was clinical, you know what I mean? So we're really going to have to keep an eye on him. I know he's been out injured, but he's back now. And I told you he probably comes straight back in. Yeah. And that theory about FA Cup games and all that's out the window as well. You can see they're going for this game. This is an important game for them. So we've got to play really, really well tonight. But I think if we play to our abilities tonight with the team that we've got there and a stronger bench that we've seen in the past few games, we should get the job done.
Yeah,
I mean, so
Haaland's just come off for City. They've got about 20 minutes to play. If we're looking at 15 plus added time, City still 1-0 up, and of course we will give you a reaction to that as the watch-along stream starts. Let's get some predictions.
Is there any significance in the fact that he just missed that? Let's face it, a chance he should have buried, and now he's been taken off and he just walked straight down.
Yeah, it could be.
I think it might be an injury. Or just let me just get some.
No, he misses a lot of chances. He scores a lot, but he also seems to miss a lot, especially the last few weeks. So maybe he's unhappy with him. Pep's got very, very high standards.
Pep just gave him a big old hug.
He's not quite fit enough. He's still just come back from injury, you know.
I wouldn't be worried.
De Bruyne's not playing today, no, is he?
No.
Is he injured? Or is he on the bench?
I'm not 100% sure. But second half, Bournemouth have outshot City. Let's see if they can just get that one moment, because they have had 2-3 really
They've had their
good
moments,
chances.
James.
Do you think they're partial?
So there's no chance, Lee?
No, I didn't say there was no chance. I'm not
But if they've had their moments, not having any more moments, they're losing.
I think they've had their chance.
So,
They've had their chance.
so what is it? They got a chance, they've not got a chance.
I don't think that they'll win this game. That doesn't mean to say they've got a chance, is it? You know, you're trying to be clever again, are you?
I don't have to try.
Trying to put. Why don't you sit yourself upside down like might see your six pack? Running the marathon, he said there as well, like, you know what I mean? Like, at a marathon, never
I
run
run
it.
the marathon. You ever run a marathon?
No, I've never run a marathon.
Well, I have.
Oh, have you, like?
Yeah, I've got the medals.
What time did you do?
Well, it took me about an hour to get to the start line for so I did it
Was
in
it sub 3 or 4?
sub 3 or 4. Well,
Because sub 3 is great going. Sub 4 is.
yeah, it was sub.
What marathon did you do? London Marathon?
Yeah, it was.
well done.
Yeah, it was sub 6.
Okay. So
But
you probably ended up walking most of that.
No, I ran the whole
Yeah,
thing.
you did it. I'm proud of you.
No, it's
2 miles. Yeah.
Bournemouth are in here.
Bournemouth got a chance here.
Nah, down he comes. And that's the booking.
Penalty.
Oh, but Solanke's kept the move alive. He's done really well there. Just dive.
He didn't give a foul for that. Did you notice that? But he give it earlier on for them. Funny
he
that.
did similar sort of foul. You're
They
right.
give it away.
City look nervous.
No, that's not.
Is it me? But they look a bit nervous in defence there.
City have looked not all
Poor
at
ref.
it, really.
That's what I'm saying, man. The pressure's on. What is there? 13 games
Pressure's
to go
on
now?
us as well.
Yeah.
Pressure's on us as well. They win this. This stays as it is.
And dare I say,
we have to win tonight.
dare I say,
That is a foul.
Liverpool,
Do you know what? It is,
City,
isn't it?
Arsenal,
It's across him.
we're all going to drop points in the running, aren't we? Let's be honest.
Yeah, because we're all playing each other.
Yeah. So
All right, score predictions. Lee.
I'm going to say 2-0.
Laurie.
I said 2-0 in the preview, and I'm going to stick with that.
I would say a rather deluded 3-0, but I feel like they'll want to respond to
Going
players.
3-1.
3-1.
That's what I said in the preview. I fancy goals from us tonight, and I'm pleased that Jesus is back. 3-1.
Julian.
Yeah, on the back of the fact that when Arsenal seem to have a bad game, they don't seem to bounce straight back again.
No, they don't. At all.
They do when they've been in Europe, though.
Well, that's worried me a little bit. But I think
I
we'll
think the stats
win.
something like 20
but I
games.
think it'll be a scrappy 1-0 or 2-1. It'll be.
Take that.
I'll take that.
Yeah, I'll
3
take that.
points. Mad Lad says a 4-0 win. Aaron says 4-2. G-Star says 3-0. Z says 1 or 2-0 to the Arsenal. Saka will get a penalty. Marcus Yard says 4-2 Arsenal. 4-1 to the Arsenal, says K-Bone fan. Prediction inspired by the foreheads. 4-1. Okay. Sadiq says 2-0. What else have we got? A couple more 3-0s. A 7-0 from Iran. 7? I hope you're right, Iran. All right. We'll leave it there. Everyone, hit the like button if you enjoyed this. Remember, download the AFTV Plus app. Get it done now, because then you can have your chance to have your say at full time. We go live, win, lose or draw, to hear what the fans have to say. Of course, Robbie and Cecil will be out the ground as always, and we'll be taking your calls here in the studio. The watch along starts 15 minutes before kickoff. Arsenal have the opportunity, like I said, to capitalise on whatever happens here in the City game. Looks like they're probably going to win, but at least keep pace with them and close the gap to 2 points with Liverpool, and crucially bounce back after what happened against Porto. All right, catch you all in a bit.